All right. Hi, guys. Welcome to our hangout. And our guest today is Jessica. This is our first time to have a guest speaker. I just recently started branching out and doing my own team calls because we have a big diamond Monday night meetup call that we always do every week. And so is this the second month, guys, that we've done that? Then this hangout or first month? This is the first like month that we've had it consistently, right? Yeah, something like that. Maybe we had a few last month, maybe not. I don't remember. My mind is blah. But anyway, so I just kind of wanted to do it as ownership from my own team now and to kind of cultivate our team culture. And so I met Jessica at Hawaii the last day. We were just soaking up the last minute of such sunshine that we could. And she happened to have two boys of her own, and they are around my boys' age, and they all kind of started playing together before we actually had to leave. And then we got to chatting. And so she actually in May of 2020, which I just found this out before the call, she hit Emerald. So right before I joined Plexus in general, her team hit Emerald. And then literally was it 2 months later, May, June, July? Yeah, 2 months later hit Sapphire in 2020. And so I just think that's so cool and such a fast pace. But 2020, as we know, was bizarre. It was crazy. And so I invited her tonight to just speak anything, speak tips, speak advice, speak your struggle and how you rebuild. Or how you are rebuilding. Just anything is welcome here. Truly, we are open to hearing it all and all the advice. And she's been here for almost 10 years. What'd you say in November?
Almost 10 years. Yep.
Crazy. Okay, so give it to it. Give us all your advice, your tips, tricks. Let's hear it. I'm excited.
All right. Hey guys. So I'm Jess. I am from little old Delaware. I'm going to try and sum up 10 years of failing and learning and trying not to take up too much of your time, but I can promise you, like, I have a really good story. It is not, I'm going to start from the beginning. So before Plexus, I actually was working two jobs, and I actually did network marketing prior to Plexus. I did a company called Leah Sophia, which Whitney wore, if anybody knows her. That is how I almost found Plexus. I saw one of her videos because Leah Sophia went bankrupt. But my friend was sharing about a pink drink, and Leah Sophia went bankrupt. They like literally screwed so many people out of money. It was really bad. So it left a really, really, really bad taste in my mouth. And I was with that company for 4 years,
Yeah.
loved it. It was the home-based parties. It was going to strangers' houses and begging for parties. It was necklaces and inventory and quotas, and it was exhausting and expensive. So I've been there and I've done that. And I was maybe 20 at the time doing that.
Yeah.
I just did it literally for fun. I just had fun with it. And my husband built me my own custom cabinet full of jewelry that I was just like, oh my gosh. So, anyways, they went bankrupt, and I was actually still going through like working it when somebody came to me about Plexus. Now, before Plexus, I was not a health person. I thought like gummy bears were a serving of fruit a day. I was addicted to sugar and soda. I'm not kidding. Like I was not the ideal health person. And I was just like, supplements, that's a waste of money. And that is so stupid. Like, why would I take a supplement? And it's just funny now because I'm just like the anti person that I was 10 years ago. So, um, my friend started sharing about this pink drink, and I was like, man, I had my gallbladder taken out. I had so many health issues. And she told me just to try it. Well, I was super cheap. We just bought our first house. So I bought a 7-day trial pack because I knew it was going to work. The second day I fell in love. And I'm just going to cut it short, but I'm going to say about 3 months later, I was off of all of my stomach medications, no acid reflux. I didn't see my allergy specialist anymore. I fell in love with the products, like loved them. And I started diving into the business. Well, I was at my second job one night, and I saw the OG Sonia Dudley videos. If you guys haven't seen those, like, even though our compensation plan isn't what it was 10 years ago, you have to go and watch them to see how our business has transformed. And when I tell people, like, when people sign up with welcome packs back in the day, we didn't see those points. We didn't see any of it until the next month if they joined.
Wow.
And so it was just crazy, and we've come so far. So that is one thing I'm going to tell you is like, I feel like I'm the grandparent that's like, we used to walk 10 miles both ways, to school. That's literally what it feels like. But I have been here from the almost the beginning, watching it transform. Is like, we have an overwhelming amount of information available to us. Like, literally, if you want an answer to something, you can get it like that, which
Yeah.
is incredible. Um, but I went after I had a few friends asking me like what I was doing. I went silver my first month. 6 months later, I went to Arizona for my first convention. I
Mhm.
actually didn't have kids at the time, said I didn't want to have kids because I never thought I'd be able to stay home with my kids. So I said, that's just out of the picture. Like, if I can't stay home with them, I'm just not going to have kids. I'm not bringing them into this world to put them in daycare. That was just my opinion in me and my husband's. And 1 year into going like senior gold, I was like, I think I can do this like full time. So I ended up getting pregnant and putting my notice in. And let me tell you, God's timing is everything. Like, I remember praying for something different. I said, I don't know what I'm praying for, but I'm praying for something. And then his timing, I put my notice in and I said, I'm not coming back. 2 weeks later, I was put on bed rest. I couldn't walk from my couch to my kitchen while I was pregnant with my oldest without my heart rate going through the roof and having to go to the hospital. Like, it was just really bad. And I was only about 32 weeks then. Um, and I was put on bed rest up until I delivered him. I had him at 35 weeks. He was 4 pounds. He was in the NICU for a week, and my husband had to take off extra time. And so it was a blessing to be able to work from the hospital bed. I have pictures of him while he was in the NICU and like all this stuff, and just being able to have my products and work while I couldn't have him, but also staying there longer. Like, it was incredible. And there was never a time where I was just like, I don't want to do this. And then 2 years later, I had my other son. And then, so I have raised babies and businesses in this time frame, and it's been absolutely incredible. So my tips for you, I'm trying to keep this really not too
No,
crazy
you're
long,
fine. Go for it.
um, is I don't think there has ever been a day, even when I had a baby, that I did not share Plexus. Whether it was in my stories, my Facebook, my Instagram, there has never ever been a day, because y'all listen, my husband is a police officer. And I tell people all the time that when they tell me that life is hard or what we do is hard, do you go to work every day with a gun on your belt to protect you? Do you have to wear a bullet vest, or do you have to wear that? Because
That's
that's
what my
hard.
sister says too. My sister has a husband. She's like, you don't understand unless you're a wife to a police officer. It's
Exactly. I got
a
goosebumps.
lot.
Exactly. Like, people, there's hard, but then some people just don't know another type of hard.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's harder things out there than what he does. But my perspective is, I have a shiny little, I get to stay home in my comfy house with my kids where it's safe. And I get to, and when you change your mindset from I have to I get to, your life will change. But I get to be home every day on work on my phone and have the freedom of, okay, well, this morning I'm going to do this and then I'm going to do this. You get the freedom of choice. And that is huge. But when people say, oh, this is hard, well, no. If you think that this is hard, you're just not doing it enough to get confident enough to get over the things that you think are difficult. But consistency is key. My team knows this. And I tell people all the time, like, the new year comes around and everybody's like, yeah, new year, new me, blah, blah, blah. We all know it. It's 2024. We're in our 30s. Like, we know, we know all the things. And then you are literally just waiting for that person who said, I did a 12-week sugar fast and I'm doing a 12 miles a day and this and that. You're literally waiting for them to fall off, because you know it won't last. And I tell people all the time, don't be that person. Go out there and tell people and be about it. Stay consistent. You don't have to go and run 10 miles a day, but maybe a post 3 days a week. Like, stay consistent, because your consistency is your credibility.
Yeah.
Like, it's so true. And as soon as you fall off, people are not going to take you serious. So show up for yourself because people are watching, whether you believe it or not. I still have people almost 10 years in who still ask me questions who have not bought. They just are watching. And I had somebody finally reach out to me. She signed up for the fifth time. She was like, your credibility really, like your consistency is really showing me that I really need to stick with it. And she has.
Yeah.
Um, my next tip is don't know it all and to use your resources. Like I said, we have shareables, we have the back office. Y'all, my graphics were like I cringe when I see my memories. They were so gross and so disgusting and not aesthetically pleasing at all. But listen, it got me all the way up until I was whatever rank. People don't care about the graphics. It's that's what we care about.
Yeah.
We think that we have to have the perfect picture in this, but the graphic isn't going to get you to a rank. A graphic isn't going to sell somebody. So you don't have to know everything. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I tell my girls all the time, like, just allow the resources to do the talking for you. If you don't know what this is, find the video and send it to them and say, and they'll respect you. They'll give you the credibility. Like, I don't know what this is, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you the information about it, and they'll respect that. So you don't have to be the expert. Um, and then when I first started, and what really inspired me, like I said, was the Sonia Dudley videos. Her videos are what intrigued me because when I was watching them, I was like, there's no way that this is real. So if you don't know about the compensation plan, like if you don't know what your bonuses are going to be, and you don't know the ins and the outs, I highly suggest that you go watch training videos on the compensation plan like 100 times. Seriously, because if you don't know how inspiring it is. The compensation plan is different, and I've studied many
Yeah.
compensation plans. It's so different, so unique,
Mhm.
and there's nothing else out there like it. So many companies try to do it, but they won't, and it's so inspiring and I love it and I'm thankful for it. I actually wanted to so kind of a backstory, I keep going back and forth,
It's okay.
but in 2020, before we went Emerald, I was stuck at Senior Ruby for 2 years.
Me
The
too.
same yeah, see, I remember you said that at the pool.
Yeah.
And my boys were 2 and 4 at the time.
Mhm.
And I decided, well, we decided, me and my husband, we were living on our first home, and we decided that during the time of going Emerald and Sapphire, that we would move with 2 toddlers. And it was so much fun. Of course, we survived. Everybody, we made it through. But I will never forget having my kids. I wanted a picture of them on my screensaver or my wallpaper, and I wanted to be able to afford to put them in a private school. That was like a big thing for me. That was like my goal. And I said, if I hit Emerald, I'll be able to pay my kids go to the private school. That was just something for me. My kids have been in private school since then. And it's amazing. That's like one of the things that's so important to me, because here in Delaware, our schools are awful. Really, really bad. I came from public school. There's nothing wrong with public school. I met my husband in public school, but here it is. Yes, it was my vision, me and my husband, and that's something that's high priority for us, and I'll never forget that feeling. And something that I also did is, if whatever your goal is, it doesn't have to be a rank. It can be hitting 150 points to on your way to the next gold, or onto your next goal of senior gold. But manifest it. Like, you have to, like when I tell you, I could see, smell, feel every sense of Emerald before I hit it. Like, I can't tell you what it was, but I knew it and I had it everywhere. I would buy everything in green. Like, I still have all sorts of things. I have diamond on my wallpaper right now.
Mhm.
Like, I wrote it in the sand while I was in Hawaii
Wow.
and sent it to my group, and I was like, I write my goals in the sand too. Like, we all have goals, and once we stop having goals, where are we going?
Yeah.
If you don't have a plan, it's just a wish. So manifest it. My team, I have a potty mouth. So I always say manifest that.
That's that shit. I love it. My team's all about it too. Emmy,
Yes.
She's not, you don't see her, but she's got a potty mouth too. She would be like, yes, girl.
Mhm. I'm always like, manifest that shit. Manifest it everywhere. Like, because you have to see it, smell it, feel it, envision it, all the things. When we hit Emerald and then Sapphire, it was, yeah, I still remember like the day. It was insane. And I will tell you that your journey is never, is never, it's gonna be like this, and then it's over here somehow, and then it's back. It's just always insane. Um, and I will tell you, you're going to fall forward, you're going to fail forward. And the more that you fail, the more you learn. So whenever you fail, please don't hold yourself, don't take it emotional. Just don't take it personal. You don't have to be emotional, but take a step back and think, what is God teaching me? What is this lesson? Because I can guarantee you can learn so much from it. So much from it. I hit Sapphire and I said, that was fun. I'm never going to hit it again for a really long time, but that was fun. And I knew that was going to happen. And not all leaders are going to be this honest with you. I hit it one time in 2020 and I haven't hit it again. And that's okay. I'm forever grateful for where I am. I'm not going to be upset or sad or dwell over where I'm not. And I know exactly what I have to do. And I said it from the very beginning, and I'm really proud of that because the team that I have now, and that's another thing, the team that you have to one rank is never going to be the same team that gets you to the next rank. And I feel like it's a lot of learning and growing as a leader. So, yeah. And fun fact, my actual upline, who I originally started with, she actually isn't with Plexus anymore, but I outranked her when she was Ruby, and then I kept going. And so now my sponsor is her sponsor. So I love that our compensation plan isn't just, oh, I'm doing all the work and, she's being rewarded. It's not like that at all. And that's why Plexus is so fair and it's so incredible. But the work that you put in, the effort, the consistency, and the life that you do to do this, like it pays off because of your hard work. And it's it's not handed all the time. Like when a cruise started, everybody starts at the same exact spot. We're all at zero, day one. And it all depends on the work that you did. Now, if you did work prior to, now I'm consistent. Never in my almost 10 years have I ever gone and never had 3 people join me in a single month. I'm not a go and recruit 12 people in a month, but 3 people every single month, steady, consistent. And that is huge. But remember that every single person who signs up with Plexus, they all start at zero. They all start out with the same resources. Your guys' resources are way better than what I had in 2014. And anybody can do this. And I feel like as we grow as a company, the products are incredible and life-changing. I mean, I wish I could like start over or just go back and tell my younger self like so many different tips, but be consistent. Don't quit on a bad day. Y'all, life happens. Marriage, divorce, people die. Like it's the sad, hard truth, but you still have to show up to work. If this wasn't Plexus and this you had to actually go to work, you dwell, you grieve, you get through it, and then you have to go back to work in order to get a paycheck, right? Your family depends on you for your insurance. Your family depends on you for that paycheck. Think of this as a business. If you work it like a hobby, it'll be a hobby. So work. Show up like it's a real job. Be consistent. Don't be all the things. Know the business. Let it inspire you. And yeah, okay.
That was great. I loved it. I loved hearing from you. We have very similar stories, actually. I loved it.
Yay.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So, what would your advice be for, so a lot of my team here is, not everyone is senior gold or below.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what would you give advice for someone that is not re-ranking, but is looking in the next 90 days to re-rank or push past that and at least grow? Maybe not that goal. I loved how you said goal doesn't have to be a rank. For the longest time, I thought that, and I led my team to that. The goal is the next rank. The goal is the next rank. And it was setting them up for failure. And I've taken full blame for that. But what would your advice be to someone that needs to rebuild or maybe needs to just push through? They are being consistent, but they're
Mhm.
just not reaping the fruit of it right now.
Okay. No, that's a great question. And I feel like my team is in the same boat as yours. So my advice is number one, you can't always wake the dead, meaning those past customers don't get frustrated if they don't want to come and do it with you. Cause I'm going to tell you during COVID, people got burnt out. I lost rubies. I lost senior rubies and they do not want any part of it because they got so burnt out. So if you feel as if those people are burnt out and they're like, nope, don't want to do it, don't waste your energy on trying to motivate the unmotivated. Don't do it. Bring in new excited people.
Mhm.
Like I like you want people as excited as you are. Like you don't want to have to drag people to meetings. You don't want to have to nag them to get on a Zoom. Like you want people who are falling in love with the things, who are self-motivated. And I had this discussion when we went over the cruise at a meeting here at my house is look for the right people. Like we know the people who are similar to us. We want to do better. We want to go and work out. We want to be good present parents. Like look for those people, not the ones that are fresh out of jail and just, trying to make a buck. Like um so work with new excited people and have a plan for them and give them goals. I remember one of the trainings, somebody said, have a guide. Isn't it so nice that like when, I don't know if you all saw, but Tracy Vogel, I think that was her name. She came up with the cruise platform
Yes.
on
The
how
whole
to earn
booklet
it.
thing.
It-
Yes, my team has
Literally,
that. Yep.
it's literally a guide.
Yeah.
And the work was done. Like it was like fill in your bubble, recruit this many people. And I feel like that's all we all need is a step-by-step guide because it's so overwhelming with so much information around us all the
Mhm.
time that we're like, okay, we got to be a mom, we got to make dinner, we got to do breakfast, we got to all the things. Whereas if we have a guide to tell us what to do, we're gonna do it. Like,
Yeah.
and I recruit or I make silvers almost every single month, and I simply like take their hand and I say, okay, you want to go silver this month for this reason. This is how we're gonna do it. How can I help you do it? So give them a plan. And if you're trying to go for 200 points, how many silvers do you need? I'm not sure if you guys know. I was in one of the groups with Genevieve, and it was very eye-opening whenever you figure out, okay, what is Ruby? Well, Ruby is just 5 golds. Go find 5 people and go help them go gold. Well, how do you make a gold? It's 4 by 4. 4 friends who help 4 friends.
Yeah.
That's it. My team can like say that in their sleep, I'm sure.
Yeah. We
Um,
overcomplicate it. It's true. I agree. It's just like that
yes.
guide. We have the guide in front of us all day, every day, but
Mhm.
half the time we're trying to just make the pretty post. We're trying to get in our stories when really we need to do the hard first of messaging those 3 people, then get to the fluff, get to that consistent action part. Would you agree?
100%. I saw a quote the other day. It said, if you're gonna take notes and not put into action, you might as well
Yep.
throw the notes away.
Jessica Heffley
I
podcast?
think maybe that's who it was. I can't remember, but
Something like that? Yeah. I heard that podcast. Me and Danny were talking about that the other
it's
day,
so
and
true.
it is true.
Like you can take in all the information all day
Yeah.
long. If you're not applying it and putting it into action, why listen?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Does anyone on here have any questions for her or want to ask anything? She's been around a lot longer. I feel like she's my mama bear now. I'm gonna be like, okay, how do you get a silver every month? Because that is something I told my team these next 4 months. That is what I wanted them to focus on is finding one person that they can pour into, that they can lead, that wants to either get their products for free or they have a vision of getting an extra stream of income of some sort, and that can change over time what that vision is going to be. But that has been my goal is and this month has been chaotic with Hawaii and all the things and really helping my team pour into that. but most of my team knows the action and knows the what to do right now. And
Yeah.
so we have really been focusing on silvers, creating a silver. So what would be, and we'll get off here soon. What would be your number one tip to create a silver? Like, what would you like if you were right now and I was the person that was like, okay, I just got started. What would you do with me?
I'm going to build your belief. I'm going to go and build your belief in the products. So we have a VIP resource page. It's called our Health and Happiness Lounge. And I mean, we're getting ready to we do like groups in there, we do challenges, but almost every day there's a resource or a testimony posted in that page. And every single person I talk to, whether they join or not, I add them to that and I'm building their belief and saying, these are the products that these people are using. This is the results that they're getting. Like it's just simple testimonies. And 95% of the time, it's a testimony that I see somebody post and I put it in my private group or like other Joels share or something. Um, but it's not like me personally creating the testimony.
Right.
It's just
We
me
have a
find,
page just like that. It's called More About
yeah,
Business, a testimony page. Okay.
yep. So I would just build belief. I build belief in wherever it is that excites them. So if it's somebody who's like super gut health guru, they'll be excited about that. Like find out what excites them. If it's money, personally, that's what excited me was the money. I fell in love with products. I was like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And the business inspired me. So that's what I went after.
Yeah. I think right now where my team, and it's me too, where we're caught up in a web is we're trying to just get people started and we aren't really asking the ask. We are trying so hard to pull people in. And then what happens is we've convinced them and then they fall off.
Yep.
And what we're not doing is taking the time to build their relationships, which are then going to create them coming to you and saying, okay, teach me how you got there. Like, teach me the steps to get silver or, to get $500 a month.
Absolutely. I will say voice messaging is my number one tip when I tell my girls like to
Yeah.
build that relationship because obviously we're not all just going to sit around a coffee shop for 10 hours and talk. Voice messages are going to hear your excitement. You're going to build that relationship. I actually had like a building belief session earlier with a girl, like by accident. And she was like, okay, how do I share about the business? And I said, great, I had great question. So I gave her a ton of videos. I said, go watch these in your spare time. I said, but you need to know the value. If you don't understand the value in these products, how are you going to pour that into somebody else's cup? And you need to like believe in your whole heart because people are going to come and shake you. People are going to come and knock you down and say all sorts of things. And you just need to have your belief so strong that nobody can come over here and tell you anything different about Plexus. And that's truly what it is for me. Because we've all had the haters.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And they won't go away. And
Nope.
the more success you have, the more they'll come and the more you're gonna get done
100%.
or the devil's gonna come for you. So I agree. Does anyone else have any other questions for her before we get off?
I had one.
Go for it.
So I've been struggling with recruiting lately. I feel like I have reached my warm market. Is that the right term?
Mhm.
Um, and I mean, there's still people that could sign up. They just ignore me. So like, I don't know, how do you build that up? I don't even know how to ask the question because I'm so lost.
No, I get it. You're trying to build a cold market, like reach your cold market,
Yes.
build
Yeah.
your network. So personally for me, what I tell my girls and what I've always done is I join groups. Personally, I'm really into fitness now, not that I was before, but I love fitness.
Mhm.
I love crunchy ingredients. I love learning about all that. So go and find groups that you like and go and connect with other people. Not going in there and saying, buy Plexus, but just go and connect with like-minded people. Like I have a lot of crunchy groups I'm a part of, a lot of fit mom groups I'm a part of, and I've actually been friends with a lot of them for years. And some of them join me, some of them follow me. Just go and find like-minded people, and you might be surprised how much you can grow. And don't even think about it as just you growing, but maybe like eventually you build that relationship, and those people know these people, and those people know those people. You know what I mean? So just be very intentional with building the relationships.
Yeah. I think I was listening to a podcast today, and that's where I think that's the shift we've got to make. And that's the shift where our team hasn't, me being a brand new Emerald as well, and just learning to lead a massive, big team.
Mhm.
You know, that's where I feel like I've got to lead these guys better in, is not just going for the massive momentum and see how quick we can get to this rank. And all just because I came in hot and heavy doesn't mean someone else has to come in hot and heavy. And so that's been something I've had to kind of pull myself back and teach these guys. But
Mhm.
also where we are really honing in on, I feel like now, is we've got to develop these relationships with people, because then that's when authentically they're going to come to you, or that conversation about what you do for work is even going to come to talk in the conversation. So I agree. That's so good. I've been telling Danny, we've been chatting too about that. And it's just like, I've been hounding into her personal development, what she's been doing. She's like, I've been reading the book. I've been doing the things. Like, what else do I do? She's been doing
Yeah.
so good at that. But what I've been telling her too is we've got to up that influence somehow. And her show up and her consistency is beautiful. But I loved what you said about joining the groups. Like, I forget that myself. It's like, join the groups and connect.
Yeah.
It's because we get so caught up, I feel like, in that mom, gotta cook, gotta do the workout, gotta do this, that we forget to connect.
Yeah. And
Uh,
get in your stories. Like, people
Yeah.
will love your stories. Like, I'm in my stories all the time. I was stalking Kelsey today with her car, and
Yeah.
congratulations, because that's my dream car,
Thanks.
and I'm jealous. But
It's mine too.
seriously, get in your stories and post stuff. Like today, I went on a tangent about people eating Taco Bell and wanting to be scientists when they don't even care about what else they put in there. Like, get in your stories. People will want to know your personality, and if they want to hear you, they're going to listen. So you have so much impact for the people who are going to show up for you. Get in your stories, like, do the scary things and just do it. People are going to judge you no matter what. Just do it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I love that. Just do it. Just do it, like the Nike swish.
Right.
Does anyone else have any other questions? Or if you're busy, type it in the chat or anything. But thank you so much, Jessica, for your time and for just your
Absolutely.
wisdom. Maybe we can, what would be fun to do is to get both of our teams together, maybe, and
Yes,
me and you can come up with something that we could do together. But I think
absolutely.
it would be fun. I love to run with other teams. There was a team that we ran with, that I personally did, me and her as well, when we ran to Emerald. And so it just helps having that accountability buddy. But then for these guys too, to meet other people that are at that same spot and level that they are at. And so I think
Absolutely.
that's encouraging too, and gives them some ideas and stuff. So, well, thank you so much, and we
Mhm.
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank you.
Yeah. And I'm
Absolutely.
going to push stop.